Total, we believe 35 boats were destroyed. We had 7 people transported by Highlands EMS to the hospital. All of those 7 appear to be very stable. They had actually jumped either off a boat or off the dock, and then were retrieved by Jackson County Rescue Squad and other crews.
Well, this was a scene overnight. Dramatic new video from a WAFF 48 viewer as a deadly fire ripped through the Jackson County boat dock last night. You can hear the cracking and popping as that fire burned. 8 people are dead, 7 people rescued and taken to the hospital where they were treated for minor injuries. And this is viewer video from a viewer, Mandy Durham, who shared this video with us. We do have team coverage this noon. We'll check in with Eric Graves in just a moment. But first, let's go quickly to WAFF 48's Elizabeth Gentle, who is heading up our coverage at noon. EG, what can you tell us?
Haley, as you can imagine, when we arrived on scene, there are so many people out here. Such a tragic way to start a Monday. This behind my left shoulder, that is the reason why everyone is out here. What happened on this boat dock is so sad. It's heartbreaking. Such a tragedy. We want to bring you up to date on the information that we know. Scottsboro Fire Chief Chief Necklaus gave us an update at around 11:30, telling us 8 people died here. They got a call to the Jackson County Park here in Scottsboro at B Dock around 12:40 this morning for what was a call for a boat on fire. But when they got here, that fire was about 30% at the time. But then they realized how difficult it was to get to that boat, to put those flames out, and even more so how difficult it was for the people who were at this dock, most of them living on boats, houseboats, staying here at this dock to get away from that fire. A lot of people jumping off the dock into the water. The fire started on the shore side of the dock, creating big problems again for those fire crews and the people trying to escape. We know 7 people were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. We are told a total of 35 boats destroyed. Some of those boats sank out here in the water. Others broke away from the dock and floated out into the water. We want to hear now from Chief Necklaus on the very latest on this investigation. Here's what he had to say.
Our primary objective remains to check every boat, every vessel, everything we can check to ensure that we've accounted for all the victims. After that's done, the Alabama State Fire Marshal, in conjunction with Scottsboro Fire Investigators, Scottsboro Police Investigators, the ATF is on scene, and others will begin the investigation into the cause determination of the fire.
Now, of course, we are your eyes and ears on this story, and you can see in this live shot what we are seeing right now. You can see all of the burned rubble here. You can see the dock. You also see out in the water that we have crews here from all over Gunnersville, also Morgan County Rescue Squad on scene as well. We are told they're going to be here for some 3 to 5 days until this investigation is complete. Again, 8 people confirmed dead here this morning, and they are out in the water right now looking again for those sunken boats in any trace of victims, more victims in this fire. We plan and hope to have another update for you this afternoon. Reporting live, though, in Jackson County, Elizabeth Gentle, WAFF 48 News.
Well, welcome back in. WAFF 48 is continuing our team coverage of that deadly boat dock fire in Jackson County that killed 8 people and has left others injured. We want to get you the latest information as we have multiple crews in Scottsboro right now. WAFF 48's Eric Graves has been at that scene of that fire all morning. Eric, this story kept rapidly changing throughout the morning as you talked to officials, and the scope of devastation, it continues to grow. What can you tell us now?
Haley, I've been here for about 6 hours now, and one thing that has been persistent is first responder crews showing up to continue to help out, as well as people who were victims of this fire right behind me coming back from the hospital. I talked to one survivor who was on that dock when it caught on fire. He told me he woke up to screams, people yelling, said it was one of the scariest things of his life, and then the fire trapped them on the dock. It started where the dock connects to the land and then continued out, trapping them. He said then the fire started to make explosions. The propane tanks, the fuel tanks started to explode, pop after pop. He said there were dozens of them. At that point, he said they cut their boat free and started to go out into Guntersville Lake behind me. Then another boat rammed them. It just caught the wind and rammed them. They were thrown into the water, and he was in the freezing lake with burns on his body for about 30 to 45 minutes before rescuers eventually picked him up. He said it was awful. He told me he served 4 stints overseas for our military and said this was the scariest thing of his entire life. Luckily, though, he only has a concussion this morning and had hypothermia, but has since recovered from that. A lot of other people weren't that lucky. 8 people dead, of course, from this fire. And the Scottsboro fire chief did leave it open. He said there is a chance there could be more. Once they pull these boats from the water, there is a chance they could find more bodies, and they're still out searching the lake. So we're going to keep you updated on any new developments in this case, and we will give you the first alert when anything new happens and we find it out. For now, though, in Jackson County, I'm Eric Graves, WAFF 48.